Hi, my name is Bruce Stevens. What I'd like to discuss, the topic for today is, can you develop a relationship alarm system? Now just for a moment, think back about your last relationship that failed. What was your first impression of him or her? Well, how did they come across to you? In time, did you find that that was perhaps not the most accurate? If that's true, then maybe we need to think about you're developing a relationship alarm system. Now, first of all, this is simply risk management strategy. I know I'm almost talking about business transactions, but if you can pick somebody with a good early warning signal that's not really good for you, then obviously it'll be at a time when you've got less emotional investment and in the aftermath less pain. So I'm going to be a little bit quaint at this point, and I'm going to recommend maybe getting some films or DVDs out of the local video store and looking at some of the Jane Austen films, because I think Jane Austen is a figure who's written and her films have been made about this exact point. In other words, what kind of person would work for you in the long run? And Jane Austen's answer, with her many characters, is character. Yeah, think about Mr. Darcy, if you've seen Pride and Prejudice, think about Colonel Brandon, Sense and Sensibility, but in almost all of the main movies or characters in her novels are in fact, the question is, do you go with the attractive person who may lack character, or do you try and pick someone who's more stable and dependable? Well, Jane Austen gets it right when she says character is what counts. Good looks, personality is what attracts you, but character is what you live with. Now, being able to make the difference and picking that, I think, is at the heart of a good relationship alarm system. Now, I'll give you some tips. Think about how, when you start to have a date with somebody, the early days of getting to know about them, some questions: how do they talk about their ex? Do they talk about them in very dismissive, very punitive ways? How do they treat little people, the people who serve them and when you go out for dinner, the service staff, the cleaner in the office building? How are they dealing with money in their life? Are they generous? Are they mean? Etc. So just think about those small indicators of character. Also listen for their history. Is there mental health issues? Are they highly impulsive people? I mean, I can imagine a gambler that's won big at the races, for example, might be a great person to have a good weekend with. But to raise a family and have children with a gambler is pretty much a prescription for a very frustrating and disappointing life. Does a person, at very basic level, do they have criminal convictions? Anything like this should have a very large red light blinking in the relationship. Just simply a small criteria. If you were an employer and you're looking at this person who you're dating, would you hire them? If you wouldn't hire them, why not? Because that might be pointing to the issue of character. Now, schema therapy does look at identifying long-term life patterns. These are called schemas. And so some of those are very relevant. So you can educate yourself about schemas and then start to make a better judgment using your relationship alarm system about who would be most applicable or who would be better for you in a relationship. Who would you have the best chances for having a satisfying relationship? Thank you.